Good day, learners, and welcome to another lesson in Life and Works of Rizal. Take a look at the picture. She is Segunda Katigbak. After Jose Rizal's graduation from the Ateneo, he experienced his first romance at the age of 16 years old, a pretty 14-year-old Batangueña from Lipa. Inilarawan siya ni Rizal na may katamtamang taas, mapupungay na mata, namumulang mga pisngi, may magandang ngiti, at sa kabuuan siya ay kahali-halina. Kapatid si Segunda ng matalik na kaibigan ni Rizal na si Mariano Katigbak. Nag-aaral ang dalaga sa La Concordia. Ang matamis sa pagtingin ni Rizal sa dalaga ay naudlot ng malamang nakatakda na itong ikasal kay Manuel Luz, kung kaya bigo ang pag-ibig ni Rizal sa dalaga. Rizal's tragic first romance did not adversely affect his studies in the University of Santo Tomas in the year 1877 to 1882. After finishing the first year of a course in philosophy and letters, he transferred to medical course. During the years of his medical studies in the university administered by Dominicans, he still continued to participate in extracurricular activities and completed the vocation course in surveying at the Ateneo. He remained loyal to Ateneo. He even won more literary laurels and had other romances with pretty girls and fought against Spanish students who insulted the brown Filipino students. Mother's opposition to higher education. After graduating with the highest honors in Ateneo, Rizal had to go to the University of Santo Tomas for higher studies. Both Don Francisco and Pasiano wanted Jose to pursue higher learning in the university. According to Doña Dora, quote-unquote, "Don't send him to Manila again. He knows enough. If he gets to know more, the Spaniards will cut off his head." That is Teodora's reason why she didn't want his son to be in the Ateneo. The Bachelor of Arts course during the Spanish times was equivalent only to the high school and junior college courses today. Don Francisco, even though Doña Lolis didn't want Rizal to go to Ateneo, Don Francisco kept quiet and told Pasiano to accompany his younger brother despite of his mother's decision. Jose Rizal himself was surprised why his mother responded like that. Years later, he wrote in his journal, "Did my mother perhaps have a foreboding of what would happen to me? Does a mother's heart really have a second sight?" And those questions were included in Rizal's memoir. Rizal enters the university. In April 1877, Rizal, who was nearly 16 years old, matriculated at the University of Santo Tomas, taking the course on philosophy and letters. He enrolled for two reasons. His father liked it, and he was still uncertain as to what career to pursue. He had written to Father Pablo Ramon, rector of Ateneo, asking for advice on the choice of career. But way back then, Father Ramon was then in Mindanao, so that he wasn't able to advise Rizal. That's the reason why during Rizal's first year term in Santo Tomas, he also studied cosmology, metaphysics, theodicy, and history of philosophy. It was during the following term, Rizal received the Ateneo rector's advice to study medicine. That's why he shifted his course from philosophy and letters to medical study. Another reason why he chose medicine for a career was to be able to cure his mother's growing blindness. During his first school term in the University of Santo Tomas, Rizal also studied in Ateneo. He took there a vocational course leading to a title of Perito Agrimensor or Expert Surveyor. He excelled in all subjects in the surveying course in Ateneo and obtained gold medals in agriculture and topography. At the age of 17, he passed the final examination but he couldn't be granted the title because he was below age. The title was then issued to him on November 25, 1881. Romances with other girls. Shortly after losing Segunda Katigbak, he paid to court to a young woman in Calamba, which is Miss L, describing her as fair with seductive and attractive eyes. However, after visiting her in her house several times, he suddenly stopped his wooing. He gave two reasons for his change of heart, namely, the sweet memory of Segunda Katigbak was still fresh in his heart, and his father did not like the family of Miss L. Nobody today knows who this woman was. Rizal himself did not give her name, hence her identity is lost to history. Leonor Valenzuela, otherwise known as Orang, a tall girl with a regal bearing, he sent her love notes written in invisible ink. But as with Segunda, he stopped short of proposing marriage to Orang. Rizal's next romance was with another Leonor, and she is Leonor Rivera. His cousin from Camiling, she was a student in La Concordia College where Soledad was then studying. They became engaged, and in his letters to Rizal, Leonor signed her name as Taimis in order to camouflage their intimate relationship from their parents and friends. Rizal was also victim of Spanish officers' brutality. It was when he was a freshman, medical student at the University of Santo Tomas, he experienced his first taste of Spanish brutality. Rizal reported the incident to General Primo de Rivera but nothing came out of his complaint. To the Filipino Youth, 1879. In 1879, the Liceo Artistico Literario or Artistic Literary Lyceum of Manila held a literary contest. Rizal, who was 18 years old and joined and submitted his poem A la Juventud Filipina or to the Filipino Youth. He won silver pen, feather-shaped and decorated with a gold ribbon. He was happy to win the poetry contest and sincerely congratulated by the Jesuits, his relatives, and his friends. The board of judges, also composed of Spaniards, were impressed by Rizal's poem and gave its first prize. This winning poem is a classic in the Philippine literature for two reasons. First, it was the first great poem in Spanish written by a Filipino whose pen was recognized by Spanish literary authorities. Second, it expressed the nationalistic concept that the Filipinos, and not the foreigners, were the fair hope of the motherland. Other literary works of Rizal are The Council of Gods, El Consejo de los Dioses, Junto al Pasig, A Filipinas, Abd el Aziz y Mahoma, Al MRP Pablo Ramon. Rizal's summer vacation visit to Pakil and Pagsanhan. Rizal went on pilgrimage to the town of Pakil accompanied by his sisters Saturnina, Maria, and Trinidad and their female friends. They were fascinated by the famous Turumba in honor of the miraculous Virgen Maria de los Dolores. In Pakil, he was infatuated by a pretty girl colegiala, Vicenta Ibardolaza, who skillfully played the harp at the Regalado home. They also visited Pagsanhan Falls. In his travel diary, Rizal said that Niagara Falls was the greatest cascades he ever saw, but not so beautiful nor fine as the falls of Pagsanhan in Los Baños, Laguna. Champion of Filipino Students. Rizal was the champion of the Filipino students in their frequent fights owing to his skills in fencing and wrestling. In 1880, he founded a secret society of Filipino students in the University of Santo Tomas called Compañerismo, or Comradeship, whose members were called Companions of Jehu. Unhappy days at the UST. He was unhappy at this Dominican institution of higher learning because the Dominican professors were hostile to him, the Filipino students were racially discriminated against by the Spaniards, and the method of instruction was obsolete and repressive. Because of the unfriendly attitude of his professors, Rizal failed to win high scholastic honors, although his grades in the first year of the philosophy and letters were all excellent. Decision to study abroad. After finishing the fourth year of his medical course, Rizal decided to study in Spain. His brother approved his decision. He did not seek his parents' approval because he knew that they would disapprove it. might as well his sister Saturnina, Lucia, Uncle Antonio Rivera, Valenzuela family, and some friends of Leonor Rivera. And that's it for today's video. I hope that you learned something new from this lesson. But before we end this video, I would like you to answer this question. What are 3 interesting facts you've learned from our discussion? Feel free to include it in the comment section. Thanks for watching. See you in my next one. Please like, leave a comment, subscribe, and hit the bell button for more lessons to learn. Bye!